Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Hope you're having a good day, and to my first video looking at Nightfall strikes. So Nightfalls have had a little bit of a change recently, especially with the 1.1.4 changes that they've done, patch that they've done to the game. So first time I've really kind of put any time into Nightfall strikes, especially the prestige versions, since they changed it up. Really kind of chasing that loot at the end, trying to see if I can get myself the legendary sniper rifle. So here we are on the Pyramidion. We're currently using solar burn, so as you can see in the bottom left of the screen, running all solar weapons, currently running on my hunter, using Celestial Nighthawk with solar. So yeah, and solar Manana 9 SR4 as a scout rifle, Better Devils as a hand cannon, and the solar Sins of the Past as my heavy. So yeah, this was our second run at the Nightfall. I say I'm not the strongest player in the world. I mean, I'm just a casual player. I'm not a kind of professional gamer or anything like that. So we did first initial run just to get a bit of a sighter, just to try some different weapons, see what worked, what didn't work. With the prestige version, it does lock your loadout, so once you're in, you can't change your weapons at all. So yeah, so we jumped on in, and a couple of little hints and tips really of how to complete this. Didn't find it too difficult, did die quite a few times, but you know, again, that's standard for me if you've seen any of my previous videos. So yeah, we jumped in, and the first thing is team shoot. Okay, so any of these heavy guys, where possible, team shoot them. So make sure that all three of you are concentrating on the same enemies. As soon as you do that, you're going to take them down much quicker than you would if there's just one person. So you can see I'm the only one shooting this harpy on the left here. It's taking a while to take him down, but then as soon as Gator up at the top there starts joining in, we can drop him pretty quickly. So as soon as you load in, you drop into this area here. As you can see, they've got void kind of lasers that the harpies are shooting at you. I'm using the Solar Manana SR4, just a real fast firing weapon, nice explosive damage. With the patch that they've done, the impact on scouts has been buffed. However, the cluster bomb effect for the scout rifles, or any weapon for that matter that does cluster bombs, the cluster bomb effect has been nerfed a little bit, but still pretty solid. Found that the SR4 was taking enemies down pretty easily. So yeah, so basically you just want to take your time with the Nightfalls. Now it's all about points, trying to score as many points as you can. So whereas in the past we used to kind of skip a lot of the Nightfall, you know, especially the next section that we're coming up to now, we'd literally have a hunter use vanishing smoke, skip to the other side, and everyone would die and it'd pull you through. You don't want to be doing that anymore. You want to take your time, make sure you're killing all the enemies, because it's all about generating those points. More points that you get, more prizes, I suppose. So yeah, just team shoot everything. So on this next section here, once we cleared out the silence at the top, we're just going to stay kind of back and call it out. Good communication. As with most multiplayer activities within this game, it's all about good communication. If you communicate well with your fire team, then you know you're not going to have too much difficulties. So me and Gator here stood on this top platform, communicated that we're going to take the Knight on the right side first, then we'd focus on the Knight on the left, because they're the ones that are going to do the most damage to you, firing those cannons that they've got at you. So yeah, so as you can see, team shooting, we're dropping him pretty quickly. Once he's dead, then you can always focus on the smaller enemies that aren't going to put as much damage on you, and just keep making your way. You've only got kind of, what, 18 minutes is it? I think 15 minutes while you're doing full maximum damage, or sort of the times 2.15, as you can see in the bottom right hand corner of the screen, that you're getting the max damage for that. And then after 15 minutes it drops down, and then at 18 minutes it caps out completely, so you're not going to be getting any more points. So although you do need to be moving fairly swiftly through the areas, it's all about making sure that you're killing everything, that you're getting as much points as you can by the time you get to the end. So team shoot, make sure you're working together, call out which enemies it is that you're going to focus on, and then yeah, just team shoot those guys and work them through. So making our way through the laser grids now. Once you get through to the other side, I mean, usually I just skip this guy at the end, just jump over and miss him, but obviously it's all about points now, so take him down. Yeah, jump over the laser grids now. I know a lot of people struggle with these laser grids. I certainly did when I first started playing the Nightfalls. I really struggled with these things. I used to clip myself, lose half my health, and then I'd get clipped again, and I'd die, and you know, it slows right down. So kind of just take your time a little bit with the laser grids. and just make sure that you are clearing them. The one a little bit further on is a little bit more difficult, but I will explain that as we get to it, just to show you kind of the most efficient method that I've found of getting through there first time every time without dying. So yeah, hitting the next area, switching to the better devils. As you can see, the impact on the goblins is really high. We've got 2 hunters and a warlock running this, so the warlock is running Dawnblade. Myself, I'm using Celestial Nighthawk with Gunslinger, and the other Titan's actually running Orpheus Rig with Shadow Shot or Voidwalker, or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, we did find kind of halfway through this that realistically we probably want to be probably would have been better with 2 hunters with Nighthawk, because yeah, the tether, I don't know if you guys have found this. Drop a comment at the bottom if you found this, but I don't know, Orpheus Rig seems to, they don't say they've debuffed it, but there just seems to be something a little different with it. We've noticed recently that you're not generating maybe as many orbs, and you're not getting your super back as quickly as you used to with using tether. So yeah, if you've noticed that as well, please drop a comment in the bottom, or if you say no, Jester, you're talking nonsense, which is possibly the case, yeah, drop a comment, let me know. I'd be interested to see your thoughts on that one. So yeah, again, heavy guys first. Work on those heavy guys. Work together, work as a team, and you'll take them down pretty quickly. I mean, we've got a team here. This is Gator and Fury that I play with on quite a regular basis, so we kind of know each other. We know how each other rolls, what weapons each other uses, and the communication's good. It is key. You know, the better that communication is, the quicker you're going to move through areas. So yeah, as you can see, I'll drop a rocket on there. Gator will back me up. Fury's moved over to the right hand side. He's cross shooting from there. I'm then covering Fury on the right, so I'm kind of just swinging between the two, basically working on the heavy guys, because again, with the flame damage that these guys are firing at us, they're going to take you down real quick. So it's in your best interest to work together, take those guys down. I'm not being too precious about things like rockets. Yes, I do want a few for when I get to the boss, but really that's kind of what I'm saving my super for. I probably could have burnt it off a couple of times through and still got it back, because with the patch that they have put on the game, you do get your supers back quickly. There's like a minute, if not more, that's been taken off the time it takes you to regenerate your super. So yeah, so if you've if you can, then yeah, use your super. You're going to get it back before the boss. I mean, I don't know why I didn't use it all the way through this. I was just kind of focusing on trying not to die, you know, so that you've got 3 guardians causing constant damage. As you can see, Dawnblade also has had a real good buff to it. It's not a super that I would really use at all in the game up until this stage. You just didn't seem to get very many shots with it. It seemed to run out way too quick, whereas now you get extra shots with it. It does a little bit more damage, and it doesn't run out as quick. So yeah, it's certainly a worthwhile buff that they have done to this, and does make playing Dawnblade a little bit more fun. So on this, okay, so come up to the first laser grid, take a second as soon as it disappears. Now head for the one that's lit up. Head for the one that's lit up. As soon as it disappears, you can run straight through without getting pinched by it. Head for one that's lit up and straight through. On the next one, just wait for a second, wait for that grid to turn up. As soon as it disappears, jump off, and through you go, okay, without taking any damage. I was pretty close on that one. So into this next area now, again, team shot, take them down real quick. Again, it's all about points. So whereas in the past we used to clear out the first wave of enemies that's inside this room here inside this area, and then we'd activate the plates and just skip anything else that turned up. Now what we're doing is clearing out the enemies. What we're going to do is we're going to hit all 3 plates at the same time, and then when the second wave of enemy turns up, we're going to back up right to the beginning of the room again, and take all the enemies down. Just really trying to work on getting the maximum amount of points that we can. You see you've got a steady sort of tally going on in the bottom right hand corner, currently up to 9 minutes and 28 seconds, and so yeah, we're getting close to that point where we're going to stop receiving points for the kills, so needing to ramp up the speed that we're moving through these areas. These guys really do my ahead in these goblins that kind of can put shields on things, especially when you get two. I don't know if you've seen this. You get two of them and they just sit there shielding each other. I think that's what's kind of going on here. Really annoying because you can't get a shot on them. If you go too far forward, you're going to die. So if you find that's the case, then like I've just done there, switch to a different enemy, see if you can find one that's not shielded, and focus on dropping them down. And then when you kind of drop back to the other side, usually they've dropped the shield down, so you can start dropping the health off them. Again, those kind of the bubbles, I'm not sure what they are, the kind of smoke things that they fire at you, they take quite a lot of health, so just be careful of those, keep sort of dodging forwards and back, try and dodge those as much as possible and not get hit by them. And then again, as you can see, there's shots firing on that knight as well as the ones that I'm firing, team shotting on everything, and then not activating that first plate, leave it, just clear the enemies out, get the room nice and clear, then you can activate all 3 plates together. All of the enemies will respawn in, and then you can kind of rinse and repeat, clear the room out before you move on to the next section, maximizing the amount of points that you're going to get in this area. So yeah, speed is key, but also making sure that you are kind of team shotting and also clearing all of the ads in each area. So then I got myself a little isolated on the left hand side here. It was just me focusing on this knight because the other two couldn't get a shot on it, so I kind of called that out. They were able to kind of move themselves around a little bit and get themselves into a position where they were able to team shoot on this captain and make sure that we dropped him reasonably quickly. So yeah, all about communication, all about working together, help one another out. So now we just kind of worked out which plates it was we were going to activate. I think I messed up on this. I said I would activate the right side, so Gator came over to the left and I actually meant the left side. Not always very good with my lefts and rights, so yeah, I kind of messed that up. So Fury's just waiting there, and then we just did a 3, 2, 1 countdown, all was stepped on, activate them all at the same time, and then get the hell out of there, back up as quick as you can. Get yourself to the back of the room, get away from the enemies, and then just do the same again, work your way in. Rockets with clusters work pretty well. Say there's Fury's tethering, so he only managed to tether 3 enemies there, which I think is possibly part of the reason that he's not generating as many orbs, and that he's not getting his super back as quick as he maybe used to. But yeah, we were trying this in trying out when the patch came in, just different weapons. We went into the Castellum on the Leviathan raid and just thought, well, we'll see what the different weapons play like, have a go with them. I mean, I say different weapons, they're the same weapons, they've just had boosts to the kind of output of damage on them, little changes into the way that they impact enemies. So yeah, so we just went into Castellum just to try things out, and even in Castellum, where there's loads and loads of enemies, we just weren't finding that Orpheus rig and the tether were generating as many orbs and getting your super back as quick as they did previously. So yeah, if you're finding the same thing, please let me know. Please let me know your thoughts on that. So into the next laser grid section. Excuse me. Yeah, just take your time. I got clipped by that one there, so I'm just gonna have to be really careful, because you get clipped by 2 of these, then you are going to die. So 1 you can kind of get away with, but just let your health regen before you hit the next one, just in case you do make a little timing error and you do get clipped. Then it's just going to stop you from dying straight away and letting the team down in terms of the amount of damage that you're able to output while they're trying to do the same. Because in the Nightfalls now, or certainly in the Prestige Nightfall now, if everybody dies, then it returns you to title screen and you've got to start all over again. So you do really have to make sure that you are working together. So this is the laser grid that everyone finds pretty tricky. So first things first, kill the enemy at the end. You don't want to have to deal with him as you're running through, so just stay back, kill him. Once he's dead, I stay on the left hand side and basically watch for the laser beam coming around. As soon as one comes around, I kind of chase it and follow it through. That seems to work for me every time, stops me from getting clipped by it. So yeah, you might want to try that strategy. In this next area here, focus on the snipers at the top first. Try not to do what I did there and get myself a little bit too exposed. I was just stood a little too far out and got myself hit by the goblins and some of the other enemies from the Cabal enemies from the top. So first things first in this room, take out those snipers. Once the snipers are down, then you can kind of focus on the enemies that are right in front of you. I mean, you might want to allocate one person to take the sniper on the right, one to take the one on the left, and then the other guy can just be kind of drawing fire from the enemies that have spawned right in front of you. So now we've got these spires there, they hack the network towers section of this. So first things first is just clear a few of the enemies out. You want to make sure that quite a lot of those guys are dead, just so that you can get to the different networks towers without getting yourself killed. I know that usually I focus on hitting the one on the right, and somebody else will focus on Fury, I think it is, I'll focus hitting the one on the left. Gator will get the one that's right in front of us here. And just, again, communication, letting each other know, okay, I'll take this tower, you take that one. So now the enemies are cleared out. Gator's hacking that one in front of me. I'm going to make my way over to the one on the right. I think Fury's looking and seeing if he can get to the one at the bottom. See if he can make his way down there and hit that one. Yeah, so communicate just so you've not got 3 people getting yourself into a pinch at once. I'm going to just fire a rocket off, just try and clear out a few of the goblins. Not really worrying too much about the Minotaur on the plate. I'm going to try and hide behind the network tower itself just so he can't hit me. And then once I've hit it, I mean, I do go down here. This is where I die by the Minotaur, but I have already hacked the network tower, so it doesn't really matter. Again, we are trying to work on speed, as you can see on the bottom right hand corner of the screen. We've gone over 15 minutes now, so the modifier that we've got on it's dropped to 1.08 times in terms of the damage, and we're really trying to push now to get over 60,000 as the damage, which yes, it's not massive with the size of modifier that we had on, but I say this was only our second ever run on this particular, or certainly my only second ever run on this particular Nightfall strike. As I said at the beginning of the video, I've not really been playing them that much. Just not really, I don't know, I'm not somebody that wants to chase emblems. I mean, obviously, yeah, it's nice to have some emblems, but do I really want to chase them? Is that something that I'm feeling massively rewarded by getting? Not really. Weapons, yeah. Mods, yeah. I will chase those things. If you give me things like that I can chase within the game, then yeah, of course I will chase those things. But I don't know. Emblems? Do I really want loads of emblems? Kind of bragging rights. I don't know. It's just not me. That's not my sort of thing. I don't know. Maybe you like it, and fair play to you if you do. But for me, it's not my sort of thing. So now that they've brought in some specific loot, some new weapons that have come into the game that are running alongside these kind of strikes, or sorry, yeah, on these Nightfall strikes. Yeah, these are things I'll chase. These are things I'll grind for. I will play this Nightfall strike a good few times to try and get myself that sniper rifle, just so that I've got it. Not really a sniper fan, but since they have made some changes within the game, I have found that I am now running weapons that I never usually would run. So as you can see, my loadout's pretty standard for me. I'm using a scout rifle, I'm using better devils, I'm using a rocket launcher. However, I have found myself using shotguns, which is something that I wasn't using before. I found them really, really good fun since they've had a real boost in terms of the power output that they now do. Yeah, I've really enjoyed using shotguns. In the Crucible, I've been using a lot of pulse rifles, Vigilance Wing, 3-shot kill, or 3-burst kill, I should say. And that's it, even if you're not getting headshots. I think it's like almost like a 2-burst kill now if you're getting headshots. So yeah, that thing's pretty OP. So yeah, really kind of enjoying that. First time in a while that I've gone back into the Crucible and used that weapon, just because I don't know, I've not been a fan of pulse rifles. As you know from my previous videos, I kind of focus on using auto rifles, I focus on using scouts and hand cannons, whereas now I'm using shotguns, I'm using pulse rifles, I'm using things that I don't usually use. So for that, you know, kudos to you, Bungie. I think there's still a lot of people hating on the game, still a lot of people saying these are things that should have been there from the start, but you know what, I still enjoy the game. I still enjoy playing it. I'm gonna go right out there and say it. I do still enjoy the game. Yes, would I like to see a lot more content in the game? Yes, of course I would. Would I like to see more raids in the game? Yes, I would. Would I like to see more loot in the game? Would I like to see exotics that are more powerful? Yes. I would like all of those things. However, Rome was not built in a day, guys. I don't know, you know, Bungie have had plenty of time to work on this. They've had plenty of time to develop it. But everyone's kind of comparing it to D1. Oh, when in Destiny 1, you know, we had all this content, we had all these things. Not at the beginning, we didn't. At the end of the game, yes, we had loads to go out. We had lots of different raids, and yes, raids did feel more chunky in D1. There was more to them. Now in Destiny 2, not quite so chunky, not quite so rewarding, shall we say. But at the beginning of D1, there wasn't that much content either. People forget this, and we are still only in the first year of Destiny 2, so I still do believe, you know, hand on heart, that this game will come good. Whether it's going to come good enough to bring players back to the game, there has been a significant drop off of the amount of players now currently playing this game. We've noticed it within our clan, we've noticed it within our rosters, on our friends list. You know, we've just not got as many players playing the game as there used to be. But you know, we are waiting for that content drop in May to turn up. Really got high hopes for that. That's going to you know, maybe give us a bigger playing space than Mercury has done. Potentially going to give us a new raid dynamic. I know the Prestige raid comes out, but I am really hoping for a sizable chunky raid to turn up in this game, similar to the Taken King expansion in Destiny 1. So yeah, these are my hopes, these are my dreams. Fingers crossed they will come good on it. They will still keep focusing on trying to improve it and make it better. But so far, some of the balances, some of the new changes that they've put in, you know, I'm liking them. I'm enjoying it. It's given me not necessarily reasons to grind, not necessarily reasons to keep playing, which I would like to see, but it's making the game more enjoyable. It's given me a reason to use a pulse rifle. It's given me reason to use a shotgun rather than a rocket launcher. It's given me reason to use other things rather than a hand cannon and an auto rifle. So for that reason, yeah, I am enjoying it. So anyway, sorry, I digress. Back to the video. Yeah, so when we get to the last boss, this is where you've really got to be careful not to have all of your fire team die at once. As soon as he spawns in, you can back up away from the plate, use your supers, use your heavy straight away as soon as he spawns in, just to get as much damage on him. And then you're just going to activate these plates at the bottom. Once you've activated the plates, it's going to drop his shield down. Once his shield's down, you're going to be able to take him out. Now, I died there. Now, look, he was facing the other direction. He was shooting in the other direction. How the hell did he shoot me sideways out of his gun when he's focusing on the guys on the other side of the map? He's like a sniper with that thing, and yeah, one shot to the head and you're going down, or two shots, you're a dead man. So as you see, as I ran across that plate there, I got clipped with the first shot. And then as I got to the plate, got hit with a second, somehow out of the side of his gun with that crazy line rifle that he uses. That's pretty amazing. If I could get a gun that shoots sideways, I'd buy that. So yeah, so now I'm just going to take it a little bit more careful. He hits me with the first one. I'm just going to try and use that rock to get between me and him so I can activate the plate. You may wonder why nobody came to res me there. Not that they don't like me. I think I get along quite well with these guys. But yeah, they're making sure that we don't have 3 people die at once, because if you do, then it's back to the menus and start all over again. So kind of a little bit deflating if that happens. So you kind of just want to wait the 15 seconds, wait for the respawn to happen, and then you're not going to have that issue. And again, that comes down to communication, saying don't res me, just leave me, I'll be back up in a second, and then other guys can just focus on taking down the Brachion, the Genesis Mind. So one thing that I have realised with this Nightfall strike, and it was down to my friend Gatormag, he was saying to me, he said, just don't shoot the boss. As soon as the ads spawn, don't shoot the boss, because what tends to happen is it enrages all the ads, so all the ads then focus on you. What you really want to be doing is, rather than what I'm doing now, focusing on shooting Brachion, is you want to focus on shooting the ads. So take all the ads down first, okay? Once the ads are dead, then you've not got anything shooting at you apart from the boss. You can then focus on dropping some more health off the boss, and then once the ads spawn again, you can take those guys down and just kind of rinse and repeat. I'm just going to make it a little bit easier for yourself. So yeah, good tip there from Gator. I appreciate it, because I hadn't realised that. I have played this not as a Prestige Nightfall so many times since they've made the changes. It's the first time since they've made the changes that I've been playing this particular Nightfall strike on Prestige. However, yeah, it's a good tip, and certainly one that seemed to work out pretty well for us on this run. This was only the second run that we did on this. On the first one, we didn't even kind of get to the boss. We were just playing with weapons. I came in with Vigilance Wing as a primary, just because it had been so powerful in the Crucible, and I thought, yeah, okay, no, I'll try it on the Nightfall, and yeah, on the Nightfall it just didn't do anything like the sort of damage. It was pretty worthless, to be honest with you. So I don't know if that's with all pulse rifles and the PvE arena, but certainly on this Prestige Nightfall strike, yeah, I was finding that my Vigilance Wing wasn't doing anything to the ads, so switched it up, went back to Better Devils, which the impact on that thing's massive, went back to Solar Manananan SR4, really love that gun. I know a lot of other players go on about how good it is, and they're right, you know, it's an enjoyable gun, I like it, fire rate on it's really fast, takes enemies down pretty quick, yeah, so I am a creature of habit. I do like to stick to things that I know, but I certainly have been trying more different things since the 1.1.4 patch has come into the game. So we're coming to the end of this now. We're kind of we've slowed down a little bit. We lost a little bit of momentum. And as you can see in the bottom corner of the screen, the score is starting to drop down. I know there's a lot of players out there that will go, you know, with the type of modifier that you had on at the beginning of this, you should have really got a lot more points, and yeah, probably we should, but for a second run, for a bit of a sighter, for kind of working out best ways and best strategies and things for getting through this, then I don't think that's too bad. I think we did pretty well. So yeah, still hopeful of getting the sniper rifle at the end on the first completion of this, but they did say it was a rare loot drop. Now I wish that was the case. I wish it was a rare loot drop, and I'm sure for my particular case it probably will be a rare loot drop. I will probably struggle to get my hands on this thing, and I will keep playing this Nightfall, and yeah, I'll probably still keep struggling to get my hands on this weapon. However, I did see some people on the first day of release of the patch that did the Nightfall once and they got the weapon. How is that rare? That is not rare. That is not a rare drop. Yeah, something, I don't know if something's slightly broken with that, or it's just fluke. It is just, you know, pure fluke. But yeah, if it's going to be rare, make me grind for it. Make me do this thing over and over and over again to get it, because I'd do it. I would do it. I'd grind it. Grind away in Destiny 1 to get particular weapons, to get the Black Spindle, to get whatever else it was. You know, I replayed activities over and over again until I got that weapon. Whereas if it's not so rare, if you can get it on the first or second attempt, then yeah, the replayability, guys, is not as strong. So unfortunately, first run through, or fortunately in a way that I'd like to look at it, fortunately on the first run through I did not get the weapon. So hopefully I will get it on the next one, or the next one, or the next one. Maybe it will give me a reason to grind this. But yeah, so there you go. That's our first attempt on the Prestige Nightfall for Pyramidion. Hopefully you found it enjoyable. Hopefully you found it interesting. Hopefully I didn't ramble on at you too much. And I will catch you in the next one, guys. If you did enjoy the video, please drop a like. Please comment in the section below. And please subscribe to the channel. You'd be really helping me out. Okay, guys, catch you in the next one. Peace.